I think obviously picking up on what you've said there is you're exactly right in that if you try and niche yourself out too much, then you lose a grip on what can actually be achieved through normality.
Yeah.
Do you know, normality is a thing because people buy it. Do you know, people, the main thing you'll do as a personal trainer is sell fat loss and muscle gain plans. You know, and I've said to personal trainers that have came into the gym, like try and go just down the niche avenue, they'll stay at a certain level. Whereas you've got to have that baseline framework that you're gonna base your full business off. Do you know, we've created a network of kind of fitness professionals that our network is going to sort of feed different avenues of our business.
Yeah.
Do you know, and it's kind of similar with being a personal trainer, is that your main point of call is fat loss and muscle gain plans. If you niche yourself out too much, then your baseline,
your bread and butter clients.
Yeah, you're narrowing your baseline.
Yeah, there's the reason the general public is because there's more of them. So if you have a product or service which initially services the majority, then you can diversify into something else once you've already got an established client base. And I think, how important do you think then that growing your network's been in your newfound confidence in going back into personal training? Do you feel like that's been something that now you think, I know quite a lot of people now that I didn't know before. I feel like I'm better positioned now to contact them. And has it been something that you've been consciously doing, trying to increase your network?
It is, and I think not even trying to grow it. I think it's just having that confidence that I do have that network, because I was just saying before we started that even when I started personal training, I did have quite a good network, because I was involved in like football both Saturdays and Sundays. I knew people. I knew that was like an avenue that I could hit. One of my clients was a referee in the championship. Like, it was a championship referee. So I think, well, I had that aspect to go down. I don't think I had the confidence then like push
to pursue it.
To pursue it. Yeah. And I feel like I'm one of those people where I want to have all that knowledge in an aspect when like I'm good at what I'm doing. And I think obviously confidence is a big thing of that. And I think at that time it was just like one of those things where it's like, I don't know where I'm going with this. I haven't got the confidence to do it because I don't know where it's going. So I kind of held back a bit. So I think just having that time now, as I say, growing a bit older, had a bit more life experience, actually grown more of a network as well, but still having that sort of same network that I had anyway, but having that confidence, knowing when I look at things on paper, it's like, well, actually I have got a big network. I've got a lot to pursue there.
Yeah, we find that. So when me and Joe onboard a mentor onto the FitPro-X Academy, Joe will always sit with them and tell them to think about their network. And quite often you can see them racking their brains and suggesting that they don't really have a network, or that they don't have a big network. And then before the end of your session with them, they've got a list of 30 people who they know might be interested in doing a qualification. It was just from being a little bit mindful about who they know, what they do, where they spend their time. Okay, you train at this gym and this gym and this gym. Who do you know there? Oh, well, I know the manager here, I know the manager there, I know 4 of the PTs there. I'll drop them a message and they can speak to people. Oh, I do this on a Saturday. I've got this group of people that I'm connected to. I'm involved with this group here. And it's actually just sitting down, being mindful and thinking, right, who knows me? Who do I know? Who can I reach out to? Because until you actually take time to do that, then it is hard to think, oh, who is my network? But if you actually spend some time thinking long and hard about the network that you already have, you might not have to go out and knock on doors and increase your network too much. It might actually just be a case of having a real think about the people that you know, because one person can always lead to a lot more as well. I mean, we've had it where we've had one mentor and they've introduced new mentors. So it wasn't even our network. It was exploring the network that we have and then the network that the people in our network have. And it's just like it just fans out and it kind of spirals from there, and it collects a bit of speed because you're looking at all of the people that you know, but then what about all the people that they know? and is the people that you can get into who know a lot of people, and kind of like what we've done with putting newsletters out and things.
Yeah, I think it's almost like the avalanche effect. You know, that starts from a tiny, you know, grain of snow, and then it goes with. And the thing is about networking, it's not just about the people you know. It's about talking about it. It's about telling people what you do. It's about putting yourself out there. The best chance you've got of doing that is to expand your network. And I was saying fitness, like when you are a personal trainer or when you're involved in the fitness industry, when people think of when people think of you, they should not only think fitness. When people think of fitness, they should think of you. Yeah. So everything that you're doing, every avenue of your life, everyone you know, family, friends, groups that you go to, you know, the people from the local pub, people from your football team, every single person is a potential client or customer. So if they don't know what you do, then it's never going to create that avalanche effect.
Yeah, exactly. And it is like you say, it is just having that sort of light bulb moment where you think, you know what it is, I actually have got a good network, and it does those people that you speak to is then just going to.
Well, that was the first,
like that, isn't it?
That was the first thing I said to you, wasn't it? Is when I onboarded you, I knew you had a good network. The first thing I said was use the police network.
Yeah.
Use your emergency service people. You know, even your university like classmates who are all obviously going to be detectives and in that field. You straight away you said, well, there's 40 people on my course. There's 40 people that you can say, look, like, do you want to be a personal trainer? Do you want a, you know, a career either on the side or a career that you know supports what we're doing here? Yeah. Because fitness is a big part of the emergency services.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah.
And then obviously with your sporting background, what you'd said before was, we had a conversation before the podcast, and you said that you'd wished you'd done when you were 18 and you were around clubs and stuff, and you know you were playing at a high level. You wished that you'd known about personal training then. Yeah,
it was something that I think there's going to be a load of people who sort of grow up thinking that they're going to be playing football, they're going to be a football, and then suddenly reaches that point where it's like, no, I'm not. And there's going to be a lot of people that's been in that boat many times. I felt I was one of them. I think had a couple of trials and that, like every young lad does when they were younger. To grow up loving football, kind of done the right thing through school and stuff like that, but never had that sort of mindset where I was like, right, I want to do this if football doesn't happen. Then I think obviously once you finished school, it's like, right, I'm going to go to college, which obviously we did, and even then it was like I'm playing football seven days a week, doing what I love while doing a bit of education on the side, and then it hits the sort of
2 years later you're left in the gutter.
It's the end of college and like, right, what?
Because you ended up in the Northern League, didn't you?
Yeah, I went from college straight into sort of Northern League quite quickly. And obviously, when you're a young 18-year-old lad and you think Northern League, obviously I wasn't too sure what it was, but obviously new people in it, and it's like, well, we'll give you X amount for every game. It's just like, oh, so I'm getting paid to play football. All right, then I'm happy with this, and it's everything else just kind of gets sidetracked, and it's just like, and then you suddenly get to a point where, right, I'm enjoying football, but all my mates are going out earning decent amount of money. I'm just playing football, looking for like a job, and it's just like, just wish you had that sort of thing that was sort of not pushed upon you, but sort of advertised when you're at that point in college, where it's just like, right, here's things that you can't. This is sport orientated.
Yeah, we spoke to JJ about that last time we had him on the podcast, didn't we? We were just talking about how, like, when you're going through something and you're an athlete, you don't want to think about plan B, because we mentioned earlier that if you're thinking about plan B, you've got 1 foot out the door already. The chances of you succeeding are so slim anyway, that if you already have 1 foot out of the door, then, you know, you're unlikely to make it. You have to kind of throw everything you can into it. So trying to interest somebody at that age with a qualification in something that's nothing to do with that is difficult, because you're making them feel like they're going to take their eye off the ball. Whereas if you give them some sort of, personal training, strength and conditioning education, it's something that can be kind of symbiotic with their actual sport. So they feel like they're improving their own knowledge around their own physical and, their own physical strength, endurance, everything like that. So they can take that knowledge and they can actually apply it to being a footballer, rather than taking knowledge that they would apply to do a different job. So they're both learning all about how to do that job whilst also benefiting their football. So it doesn't feel like they're doing plan B. It feels like they're still firmly on plan A, but actually they're just building up their skill set to be able to do something alongside that. And a lot of people who are kind of semi-professional athletes or start getting paid for their job, start getting paid for their sport, could benefit from having a job that they can set their hours.